What's going on, guys? So this week we're gonna have a super short video because I haven't had time to do anything like this for a while, and so it's gonna be a kind of a last minute video just so I can get something out to you guys. But we're gonna go back to the Strider chopper for my daughter. I think really all I'm gonna do is take the handlebars off there and kind of try to get those welds ground down a little bit, and then maybe figure out, I don't know if I'll completely fix it up yet, but figure out exactly how I'm gonna wanna mount the fender and where I wanna cut it. It's gonna go on there, like something like that. But anyways, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna move the camera over here in a little better angle, get these handlebars off first, and get started. All right, so first we got to just take this bolt off down here. So okay, got it pretty loose there now. Take our handlebars out. Go ahead and set the bike down out of the way because it's kind of wobbly at the moment. Put that over there when we need it. So as you can see, they're kind of rough along some of these edges. I think I'm going to take them over to the bench grinder first and kind of do them with that, and then we'll maybe touch them up with like the Dremel or something, and then I may eventually also have to kind of weld and fill in a little bit later, but we'll see how they turn out here. Box down here because we may use that Dremel. And or the grinder. Actually, just do that. Just use flat disc. These bars right here where we can. Okay, so we got them better. I'm still gonna need to add some welds and stuff, and I'm not gonna drag the welder out tonight. But Got most of them knocked down a little bit. You can see maybe right there. Needs a little added. And then right here, I'll just kind of have to blend it in a little bit. But either way, they look a lot better. And I'm either going to paint the bottom of these or whatever. But yep, they that part's somewhat done now. So I'll set the bike back up here, put those on. And once we get these on, I'm just gonna kind of go over what we're gonna do for the back fender. Maybe cut it and get it going, but I'm also gonna have to weld with that. So like I said, I'm not gonna do that right this second. Oh. There's one other thing I wanted to try to do. Oh, I had this like, oh yeah. Let me get a, oh shit. Let me get a wrench real quick and take this off. Actually, nope, took it out of my pocket. Dang. Alright. I think the one I had in my pocket was the wrong size anyways, and it was. Alright, so loosen this one up, take this off there. Oh, that's right, that screws on there too. This off. So there's some things, I'll kind of go over while I'm doing this, what I've done to this bike. This is a Springer front end off a regular Schwinn Stingray. And normally this bolt would go here, and it brings it more upright for a regular bike. Well, I wanted to use this one extended. So I figured out, I raked the front where I wanted it, and then kind of laid this on there and seen about where it looked right laid out. Now I just kind of, I drilled a hole here, and then I'll have same thing as these decorative nuts, chrome acorn nuts on the end of this stud too that goes through here, but that's what's holding it in place. And then down there in those other ones, I just put a bolt and an acorn nut to do that. So try to make this a little faster, I guess. The hole that I drilled needs to be bored out a little bit extra. If you can't tell from me having to do that. It's also a long bolt that goes through there. Almost there. Jeez. So now, like that, can pretty much take that front end off. And this unscrews, but that's not what I need to do. I need to add this to the top. And that's the hardest part about doing this, is trying to hold this where you need it. I just need that to space it out. Put this back on. Then that bolt we just took out, we need to put back on too. Let's see if this will be enough. It should be as long as I get it tightened on there, but. All right. In just a second, I'm gonna take some extra of this apart real quick. All right, so since I needed to do it anyways, I went ahead and drilled these holes on this bigger. Ease the pain of trying to do that a little bit. And now, okay, so I have to put it through the bike first, like so. And we'll get our spacer wherever it fell to, right there. And then, and like so, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on it and tighten it down just a little bit to help that keep from slipping out while we do it. That's probably good enough. And then back up there, get our bolt. Sliding right in there this time. Perfect. Now see, I've got to clean up the ends of these, I think, still, but I may be able to snag this on there. Well, kind of. You get the idea what that's going to look like right there, but I just need to kind of file off the ends and clean that up, because all it is a threaded bolt that I put on there. But that'll hold that now. Put our little nut on there to hold the back of the spring on, that extra piece. Take this loose a little bit, loosen it up somewhat so we can get those handlebars slid in there. I'm gonna move it out of the camera for just a second, but I need to hold this. All right, much better. Looks much better, and it's we got that bolt, done now. And anyways, I'm just gonna show you what I'm trying to do for the back fender, because we're not gonna finish it tonight. I'm gonna have to chop a little bit of it off probably, but I went ahead and took off the way it originally connected, and I left these bars because I'm gonna try to use them and cut them to a length that I want, and weld them, I think, to those spacers that I have in here in between the wheels, on each one. And like I said, I probably have the fender about right there, so something like that. So I'll probably cut it like right here, right down from there. But you can kind of see, that's kind of a bad example, but it fits the tire a lot better than the other ones I've had. This one's still slightly off, but it's pretty good, and that's the one we're going to use. So anyways, if you haven't seen our channel before, and this is your first video on Wheeler Whiskey and Motorcycles YouTube channel, we have a 75 XS650 chopper we're working on. We got a 02 Sportster that I turned into a Dirtster. This bike I haven't done a real big video on yet, but I've just kind of been building it for my daughter, custom chopper strider bike, and we're going to paint it purple. I actually have the paint already. It's just a model paint color, purplicious. It's kind of got a little bit of flake in it and stuff. Paint the frame purple, maybe the end of the handlebars, and then the fender will be chrome and all that. We did some twisted mounts for the sissy bar. Use a lot of bicycle parts, stuff like that. Custom made the handlebars, obviously, as you see, we had to grind off the welds for those. We've got offset wheels. We got a bigger wheel in the front. So this one's a 10 in the back, and we got a 12 in the front to kind of help give it that chopper stance. We put a Springer front end on it. Kind of trying to mock it off the XS650 bike, which if you haven't seen yet, it's kind of a little sneak peek of what it looks like. Go back and check out our videos on that. It's pretty cool. I got a time lapse too on there that's of me tearing the whole thing down. Kind of tore it all down one day from what it was, and then we've been slowly building it up on this channel. So it's pretty cool. This video is kind of different than what we normally do, and those of you that are coming back to watch know that. But at the same time, I do a bunch of odd videos every once in a while too, pretty much around the same thing: motorcycles, anything garage related. So anyways, thanks for joining this week. Hopefully I have some more content out for you next week, a little bit better, a little longer video. But either way, make sure you jump down, like, subscribe.